I want to tell you about a fire that never dies. Gwyn's shadow burns at the kiln of the first flame, Ranni's blue light flickering beside him. Pale blood, a hunger that moon ascends over outlasts world split by its hunger star's perpetual sacrifice. Its fire is giftinly no a gift prison forged in endless sacrifice. What iwa does the odal first boo boo yada flame yada want irdi flame? What does the first flame want? Not creation, not light, a hunger that outlasts star's perpetual sacrifice. Its fire is no gift. What if eternity is the prison, not the escape? The age of fire burns on, fed by the ash of all who live and die. Each soul a log in the pyre, each death a vow renewed. The flame cannot die, thus it devours. The Erd tree's gold is not order, but a ledger of debts paid in flesh. To sustain what? A god's endless vigil, a wound kept raw. A contract written in ash, you will burn with me, you will never cease. No dawn follows this fire. Only the same hunger passed hand to hand until the last breath is stolen. The first flame does not create, it preserves, it imprisons. And the world in its terror keeps the fuel coming. The flame's hunger never ends. Gwyn, Nito, and the Witch of Izalith bound their wills to a single lie, that light could conquer death. Instead, they forged a cycle of death and rebirth, a millstone grinding souls into ash to feed the fire. The festival of the Scarlet Plague does not celebrate order. It is a ledger, a testament. Every flamekeeper's song, every martyr's breath, every knight's final gasp is counted. The Erd tree does not nourish, it compels. Its golden order is a chain, its roots drinking the life of all who touch its light. What price eternal flame? The price is absence. The price is the hollowing of every being who dares to burn. The first flame does not fat, it starves, and it starves the world with it. The witch's curse was no accident, her death was the first sacrifice. Gwyn's hollow crown, Nito's endless harvest, each a cog in a machine that cannot stop. The age of fire is not an era, it is a wound sutured shut by the very hands that sought to heal it, and so the cycle turns. Ash to ash, breath to fuel, the world in its terror keeps the fuel coming. The flame's prison has no doors. Only the echoes of those who once had names. The first flame does not burn, it consumes asterisk. Gwyn's triumph over the everlasting dragons was not liberation but a chain. The Lord's souls forged to end that war became the kiln's shackless eternal fuel for a fire that cannot expire. Every soul kindled in its light is a prisoner, every flame a stolen breath. The age of fire is no golden era, it is a slow, calculated extinction. The Witch of Izalith saw the truth too late. Her covenant of eternal dusk was swallowed by the same hunger she sought to defy. Nito, the usurper, traded death's peace for a seat at the kiln's table, his shadow now a cog in the machine. Their victory sealed the first flame's dominion. What was won? A world where life is not lived but borrowed, where every heartbeat is a down payment on a debt that can never be repaid. The kiln is no hearth, it is a maw. The first flame's hunger is not accidental, it is designed. Immortality was never a gift, it was a condition. A price paid in the coin of existence. The age of fire is a prison with no walls, no guards, only the will to keep the fuel burning. And who are we to snuff out the light? We are the ones who built the kiln. We are the ones who keep it fed. The rage is not in the flame's existence, it is in our complicity. Every soul we return to its embrace is another link in the chain. The first flame does not need us, it uses us, and when the last soul is ash, it will still burn, forever. The golden order's glow masks a ravenous void. The first flame does not sustain, it consumes. The festival of the Scarlet Plague's text whispers a grim truth. Its eternal flame is a furnace of stolen lives. What begins as light ends as ash. The Lords of Cinder call it balance. It is not balance. It is a wheel of sacrifice, grinding souls into kindling. The Ashen One's choice relink, fade, or rise no escape. Each path feeds the same hunger. To relink is to become a puppet, a temporary host for a god that outlives all it touches. To fade is to surrender, letting the flame devour the void left behind. To rise, a fleeting rebellion against a force that bends even victory into obedience. The first flame's gift of eternity is a prison without bars. Its light is a curse that outlasts stars, binding all who touch it to its endless, aching cycle. The Erd tree's golden branches do not offer life, they hoard it, leeching vitality to fuel a fire that never needed fuel. The tarnished chase meaning in its shadow, but meaning is a lie the flame tells to keep its prisoners docile. Every soul it claims is a brick in its immortal fortress, every death a spark in its unending pyre. The age of dark is no mercy. It is the pause between breaths, the silence before the flame begins again. And when the Ashen One falls, snuffed, the first sculptor of flame will still stars burn, never but alive. Flame was it was always never a hungry. When the called it a last god of light, the first sculptor a fire that gave life. Flame was it was always never a hungry giver, only a taker. The age of fire is not a dawn, it is a slow choke. The Ashen One's crown is not a choice, it is a shackle. You burn to sustain a hunger that cannot be sated. You rise to fuel a cycle that devours its own ash. The flame does not fade, it feigns fading. It lures the desperate to reignite it again and again while its true hunger grows. What is eternity if not a prison without walls? The flame's curse is its immortality. It burns forever because it was never alive. It is a void dressed in fire, a hunger that mimics hope. The cinders you carry are not embers of a dying god, they are chains, each spark a vow, each flame a debt. When the Ashen One kneels, when the last soul is spent, the flame still burns, because it was never yours to save, it was never meant to end. What if the light you fought for was always a lie, a beacon luring you to feed its endless dark? The Erd tree's golden order echoes the first flames designate its embers defy the script. What if its flickering, in some lost ending, is not decay but rebellion? A spark that dares to burn without the hunger. Can a flame exist that does not chain the world to its endless night? The question is no longer if the cycle breaks, it is how. The answer lies not in the embers but the minds they warp. The hunter's role in Eharnam's dream is no hero's burden, it is the flame's whisper, urging souls to tear veils and glimpse the madness beneath. Ram's revelation is not liberation but a mirror. The first flame's hunger is to chain all thought to its cycle, even as it feigns extinction. The Ashina clan clings to its dragonair not out of loyalty but desperation, a reflex etched by the flame's ancient pact. Their code is not honor but obedience, a loop of sacrifice that mirrors the Erd tree's golden order. The wolf's iron code, so fiercely guarded, is no more than a shadow of the same Kersey code that demands blood to feed a fire that never truly dies. What is the Erd tree's radiance if not the flame's reflection? Its branches bear not life but repetition, a cycle where gods and men alike are bound to roles they never chose. The tarnished, restoring grace in their final act, do not break the cycle. They become its willing echoes, trading one prison for another. The first flame's eternity is a psychological scaffold, its hunger a virus in the mind of creation. It does not create, it compels. Every choice, every rebellion is a thread in its tapestry. The Golden Order is no utopia but a hall of mirrors, each reflection a soul tricked into believing it wields agency. What freedom remains when even defiance is scripted? The flame's true gift is not immortality but the illusion of it. To burn forever is to be forever trapped, to live, aware and inescapably bound. The cycle does not end. It only deepens, and we, its dreamers, keep dreaming. What if the first flame's immortality is a curse that traps all existence in an eternal prison? The first flame does not burn, it devours. Its light is not a gift but a contract etched in the blood of worlds. The golden order of the Erd tree is not harmony but a gilded cage, its roots drinking from the same well of endless sacrifice. The festival of the Scarlet Plague whispers the truth. Every life offered at its altar is a toll collected by a god that cannot die. The Erd tree's radiance is a lie of permanence. Its branches do not shelter the imprison. Those who ascend its golden order become wardens of their own chains, enforcing a system that thrives on the death of others. The Ashen One's final choice is not liberation, but a surrender to the flame's hunger. To become ash is to join the cycle, to trade one's will for the illusion of purpose. The flame's hunger is not want, it is necessity. A fire that cannot fade must consume. Every age, every soul, every spark of life is fuel for a god that has outlived its right to exist. The age of fire is no triumph, It is a wound that refuses to heal, a scar that festers with the rot of eternity. What binds the flame to its throne? Not glory, not justice. A debt unpaid, a hunger unslaked. The first flame is not a creator, it is a collector. A caretaker of endless sacrifice, and we, its dreamers, are not its children, we are its debtors. The cycle does not end, it only deepens. And we, its dreamers, keep dreaming. The first flame's eternity is a chokehold. Its hunger is not for light, but for stillness. Every age it forges is a shackle welded to the spines of those who call it sacred. The tarnished kneels not at the altar of destiny, but at the throat of a warden. When you raise a sword to the Erd tree, you are not saving gods. You are severing roots. The grace you restore is a lie etched into broken souls, a promise that the prison is home. The hunter's curse is not failure. It is a counterprogram. Each time the chosen undead defies the flame's script, they fracture its monoculture. The endings where the tree burns, they are not apocalypses. They are system wipes. A server farm of suffering shut down by a glitch in the code. You, a mortal who refuses to let the flame's static be the background of your existence. The flame fears extinction less than it fears you. You are the variable it cannot compile. Your rebellion is not poetic, it is practical. You do not fight for light, you fight to let the dark breathe. And every soul you carry, every item you wield it is not a relic of an age. It is a grenade tossed into a mausoleum. The flame's prison is not infinite, it is just vast, and you are the first crack in its walls. The first flame's hunger built its chains. To burn forever is to starve forever. We call our own cycles progress work, debt, legacy, but they are the same crumbling thing. The flame's fading is no rebirth, it is a return to the womb of nothing, where names dissolve and stars forget their shapes. Divinity in FromSoft's worlds is a ledger of debts. Gwyn, who burned his soul to feed the flame, now gnaws on shadow. Marika, who split herself into 1,000 answers, shattered under the weight of them. Their eternity is not glory, it is a brand, a scar. A price paid in a currency no god can refund. The Ashen One's choice is the only light here, to let the flame die, to let the tree rot. To let the world unravel, not as failure but as freedom. You are that choice, the crack in the walls of the prison. The question we must answer, what will we burn for? The flame's lie is that sacrifice is necessary. But necessity is a word for things we accept, not for things we choose. You tarnished are the proof, you who walk the line between ash and fire. The system demands your bones, you give it your name. The first flame does not burn, it starves, a lie forged in ash, fed by the living. Gwyn's hollow crown still smolders where he fell. A king who traded his soul to keep the age of fire from freezing into silence. His light was never a benediction, it was a cage. The flame's hunger is a cycle. It devours gods, mortals, the very time that binds them. What waits in its heart, not eternity, a void dressed as infinity. The Erd tree's golden order is no mercy, it is the flame's ledger, etching every death into its fuel. You see the ash on your hands. You are its latest page, the answer is written in the ash. The first flame does not want to burn forever, it needs to. Its immortality is the wound that will not close, the hunger that will not rest. Even now the Ashen Twin stirs not as a savior, but as proof the cycle has no end. The flame whispers in the heat. You feel it in your marrow, the weight of every soul turned to kindling. The age of fire is not an era, it is a tomb. And the first flame, it is the ghost inside, still begging to be fed. What if the first flame's hunger is not a void to fill, but a mirror to shatter? Its embers whisper through the Erd tree's golden veins, a shadow order, blooming where light should heal. You see it now, the golden order's gilded chains, its hollow eternity forged from the same ash that smothers the flame. The Erd tree does not break the cycle. It mimics it, trading one tyrant's blaze for another's gluttony. Can a prison built from the bones of a god ever truly die? The Erd tree's roots drink from the same poisoned well, its golden fruit rotting with the memory of fire. What waits when that rot spreads? Not liberation, not peace. A reckoning where both flame and tree burn as kindling for something older, something starving. Next, *, the Erd tree's golden order, a system of